Hi, I'm Steve Price. The last time I read here, I read excerpts from Bill Bryson's memoir, The Life and Times of the Thunderbolt Kid, a very funny piece of work, which was about growing up in middle America in the 1950s. Well, today I'm going to read from some of my own work, a work-in-progress novel about growing up in Las Vegas in the 1960s. And the book is called Deuces Wild. Prologue, Las Vegas, 1970. Open the fakakta door. It's 1 in the morning, and Rafe, my stepdad, is breaking into his own house to steal the silver dollars. He and my mother have been fighting since midnight when Rafe came home, high on booze and blackjack. I can see the pile of cash and casino chips on the kitchen table. It makes my heart beat fast. My mom, Kate, says Rafe is a degenerate gambler, which to my mind is a terrible thing to call her husband, and yet, at the same time, that's such an odd thing considering where we live. In fact, it seems downright normal here. Sleep all day, get up, get dressed, kiss the wife and kids goodbye. Head out to work, to the casino, swing shift, roll the dice on the week's groceries. Double down on your kids' education, bet the house on Black 17. Happens every day here. Might as well punch a time clock. Now Rafe is pounding on the front door of the house, hard, and swearing in Yiddish. I seem to remember that fakakta means shitty, literally. Neighbors' lights start going on. I recognize the loud, rhythmic tattoos. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. Rafe is throwing jab-jab cross combinations at the locked door. He's an amateur boxer, or used to be, and though he's a small man in most respects, a light welterweight in the ring, he has enormous hands that when balled into fists are highly intimidating. More than once he's threatened me with them. Pow, he'll say, touching my clenched jaw. No, I'm sorry. Pow, he'll say, touching his clenched paw to my trembling chin, right in the kisser. Right now he's going toe-to-toe with our front door and yelling at Mom, calling her a shiksa, because she locked him out after he'd left the house in a rage. They seem to fight all the time now. It's terrifying to watch and even worse to hear. Their fights always happen at night. Suddenly one of Rafe's fists comes right through the door, splinters flying. I realize what a shitty door we do have, hollow, not solid like I would have expected. Rafe must have hurt his hand because he's using some really choice words now. Mostly Yiddish with a few Anglo-Saxon dandies thrown in. Mom is on the phone to the police. That's a new wrinkle. She usually just takes it from him, turning the other cheek. If he weren't so scary, I might feel sorry for him. Let me in, you klafta, he yells. This is an escalation. A shiksa is a disparaging term for a woman who's not Jewish enough. But a klafta is a nasty bitch. You can keep the money, all my winnings, but those silver dollars are mine. I worked for them. He did, too, at his former day job, taking bets in the cage at the local racetrack, Las Vegas Downs. The whole win, place, show thing. Rafe did this off and on for years when money was tight, which was pretty much all the time. Rafe is a musician by profession, a drummer, and a businessman by default. Show business is a dicey profession, not exactly a steady or reliable income generator unless you're a headliner, especially if you have a family to support. At the racetrack, every time someone paid for their bet with silver dollars, Rafe bought them with a wad of $1 bills he kept in his pants pocket. This was the early 1960s, when silver dollars were a common sight in Las Vegas. He brought the silver dollars home after work in a canvas bag, like a bank robber, and spread them noisily on the yellowing formica-topped kitchen table, the coins glowing like tiny silvery suns under the 100-watt glare of a frosted ceiling lamp. Armed with a tattered and dog-eared copy of America's Most Valuable Coins, my stepdad and I would pore over the shiny new and tarnished old metallic orbs like they were contraband, pirate booty, looking excitedly for old dates, and CC stamped on the reverse side of the coins, which meant they were minted in Carson City, Nevada between 1820 and 1893, and made from ore mined from the famous Comstock lode. We were a family of amateur numismatists, though I, not yet a teenager, saw myself more as a treasure hunter. CC silver dollars weren't that common, but they'd show up in Rafe's canvas bag every now and then, and I had a unique talent for spotting them. "Good eye, Sethers," Rafe would compliment me when, like a vaudeville magician, I would pick one with dramatic flourish out of the pyramid-shaped coin pile. "What's the date?" he'd ask. My given name is Seth, but when Rafe called me Sethers or Setherino, I knew he was in a good mood and less prone to anger or violence. I always felt proud of my small contributions to our family's soon-to-be-discovered riches. I wanted, prayed, to be the person who found the big one, that rarest of coins that would end all our money problems, make me the hero of the family, and get us out of this shit box, as Rafe so delicately put it. My mother, adverse to profanity, would simply say, "You mean a nicer house, honey." Our shitbox home is a post-war suburban tract home, a 3-bedroom pink stucco ranch built on high ground in the northwestern part of the city. From our house, we have a good view of Sunrise Mountain, fronted by a vast expanse of empty desert. At night, the Las Vegas Strip and downtown pulse like a giant luminous snake slithering slowly across the flat, dark desert floor. When my family moved here from California, Vegas was a mob-run city of a couple 100,000 that in many ways still felt like a frontier town, but a frontier town born of a fevered dream, alternately stark and garish, hokey and sophisticated, familiar and bizarre. Like the circus had come to town and never left, just got bigger and crazier and brighter and louder. The strangeness becoming more and more quotidian. Growing too fast, like loco weed after a 3-day rain. For me, Las Vegas was magical and mysterious, a devil's playground filled with scorched open desert and cobalt blue skies during the day, neon lights and illicit adult adventures at night, all surrounded, encapsulated by forbidden-looking, jagged-edged purple-brown mountains. I couldn't imagine a better, more fun place to grow up. For my mother, Las Vegas was the stage for Act Two, a place to start over, raise a family, have something like a normal life. Rafe, on the other hand, was on the fast track for fame and fortune, or so he believed. He was a wild-eyed opportunist, blessed with enough talent, he again believed, to take him all the way. In his eyes, the streets of Las Vegas were paved with gold, and the flashing, swirling lights of the city were diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires. "Jesus Christ," Rafe now hollers, dropping the Yiddish. The pounding on the door abruptly stops. I think it's funny, a Jew cursing in the name of Jesus. Me, my mom, and my younger sister Jenny are huddled together in the living room. My other siblings, the twin boys, half-brothers James and Joshua, and my half-sister Darcy are all sleeping in their bedrooms down the hall. "Oi!" Rafe exclaims, slipping back into his native tongue. "I hurt my hand, a pain in the knuckles like you can't believe." I can picture him bringing his damaged hand up to his mouth, sucking on the bruised knuckles to ease the throbbing. Now we hear him shuffling around on the stoop, the leather soles of his expensive Italian shoes rasping the gritty sand that endlessly accumulates on the concrete step in swirled patterns and corner piles. In the desert, sand is everywhere and gets into everything. We hear more rasping. I envision an angry, snorting bull pawing the ground before his mad charge. Then the air conditioner kicks in. It's only April, but the temps are already in the high 80s and low 90s and muffles the exterior sounds. "Why is Daddy so mad?" Jen, 12 years old, asks. Rafe is not her real father either, but she was too young when our mother married him to really understand the difference. So she calls him Daddy. I call him Rafe, to his face anyway. I know I should be braver now, being almost 17, athletic, and taller than Rafe by nearly a foot and outweighing him by a good 20 pounds or more. But the guy just scares the holy shit out of me. That temper. Those enormous hands. Okay, Rafe says, panting, quieting down a little, but there's still an edge to his voice. "If you won't open the friggin' door, I'll come through the goddamn window." Rafe's goal is the bedroom window because the master bedroom is where the silver dollars are stashed. Hidden in the back of the clothes closet, packed in shoe boxes, a row of 3 stacked 3 high. Hundreds of the heavy coins, many of them worth more than their face value. Our happy little house is a virtual Fort Knox of silver dollars. We hear Rafe walk heavy-footed around to the side of the house, crashing against the chain-link fence that separates our front yard from our neighbors, ending in an 8-foot cinder block fence that divides our backyards. Our parents' bedroom faces the cinder block wall. Not exactly a great view. The great view lies on the other side of that wall. Our neighbor, Al something or other, I can never remember his last name, is a single white male in his early 50s. On his days off, Al something or other's backyard pool area becomes a mini Playboy mansion, populated by shameless female guests, showgirls, strippers, cocktail waitresses, hookers, who sunbathe, swim, and float in the pool, sometimes topless, sometimes completely nude. This makes Al something or other's backyard a major attraction for me and my neighborhood friends. But the dirty bird must be working tonight. He's a croupier at the Thunderbird Hotel. His porch lights burn bright, but his house remains dark, quiet. Rafe, however, is making a hell of a racket, tearing wildly at the pink and white oleander bushes that hide the fence gap, struggling in a drunken rage to get to the bedroom window. "What the fuck?" he says, nonplussed, as if he just stepped in doggy-doo. Al something or other has a Doberman who can shit right through the chain-link fence. "Scheiss!" Rafe cries, "my good shoes." "Where's the police?" my mom asks aloud. I called them 5 goddamn minutes ago, using a rare word, swear word for her. To me, it seems like much more time has passed than 5 minutes, a lifetime or 2. The smashing of the bedroom window startles the 3 of us. Mom is sure the noise will awaken the younger children. More sounds come through the now open bedroom window. Rafe groaning, his feet scraping the side of the house. A pause and then a muffled crash, as Rafe must have passed through the broken window and crashed to the floor. Dislodged pieces of glass from his desperate actions shatter on some hard interior surface. There's a long moment of painful, expectant silence. But it doesn't last long. Soon we can hear Rafe pushing his way into the closet, rustling clothes, banging boxes, jangling wire hangers. "Eureka!" he shouts as if he's struck the mother lode. We hear him rattle a shoebox noisily. "Praise Jehovah, they're all here. No one's touched them." I start to pull away from my mother. Feeling my courage rise, my fear fall away. "No," she shouts. She grabs my arm, tightens her grip. "Don't tangle with him." Then to herself, "God, please, where are the police?" But I'm not so easily dissuaded. I'm much bigger and stronger than my mother. I think, this moment's been in the cards a long time. I'm ready to play my hand, win, lose, or draw. "What an idiot," Jen says to me. "Daddy'll kill you." My sudden burst of courage occurs simultaneously with the silent arrival of the police. Our cringing family doesn't hear them, as 2 patrol cars pull noiselessly to the curb in front of our house. But the cop cars' flashing red lights sweep madly across the dark walls of our kitchen. A dizzying, disorienting, dazzling light show. Surreal and so real at the same time. Just like Las Vegas. Garish lights everywhere you look. Chapter 1, Relevant History. Seth's mother, Kate, whose full name is Catherine Collin Liddell, met Rafe while seeking the legal dissolution of her first marriage to Seth's father, whom she met in an elevator one week into a summer job following her graduation from Galileo High School in San Francisco. She was married before she turned 19. The marriage lasted 7 years and produced Seth and his sister, Jenny, who family members called Jen. Kate had moved to Las Vegas to get the divorce because divorce in Nevada was fast, cheap, and easy. To support herself during the required 6-week residency period, having dumped Seth and Jen with her parents in Central California, she worked as a shill. A shill is a job peculiar to Las Vegas. Young, attractive single women play blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, any of the non-solitary games, no slots, with casino money. If a table is slow, no action, a shill would get assigned to it in hopes of attracting a high roller or heavy bettor, known in the local parlance as a whale. Sometimes big players requested shills so they could sit next to a beautiful young woman, feel important, show off, and flirt. Some players had favorite shills, believing they brought them good luck. Like a lot of casino strategies, the whole shill ploy was based on the weakness and perversity of men. Kate had a few marketable skills at age 26. She couldn't type, take dictation, or balance the books. Nothing that would have landed her a traditional low-paying office job. But she was young, blonde, attractive, even head-turning beautiful when properly dressed and made up. And those were all the qualifications she needed to shill. The casino taught her how to play blackjack, learned to split cards and double down when the odds favored her, and when to fold when the odds favored the house. Her natural talents covered the rest of the job requirements. Years later, when Seth was a rebellious, angry teenager and mad at his mother about something, he accused her of leaving his father and working as a whore. She lit into him. Calling your mother a whore is a poor fighting strategy, Seth quickly learned. She set him straight about her morals and shilling, which she swore was a chaste and honorable profession. The ashtray she threw at his head bolstered her argument. Thank you for listening.